Well, I just finished posting all of my latest circuit simulations on my circuit simulator website, Mirror of Paul Falstad Simulator. And I haven't done the video yet. Well, I did one this morning, but I'm not too happy with it. And now, lying down here resting, because I'm so burnt out from the last 2 days, I realized that Carson, I believe his name is, has already done something similar to what I've done, but he's dead. Eric Dollard says that Chris took the ideology that Eric Dollard had been teaching, and this goes back a ways, a few decades, to put it mildly. It might even be 30 or 40 years ago, either the 80s or the 90s, not the 80s, no. Well, no more than 30 years ago. And he went and made a circuit that actually synthesized electricity. And he was hounded, and he died of cancer. And, you know, it's very easy to get cancer enough that it'll kill you. Or worse, kidney failure, and you'll die right away. Or you'll get diabetes, and you don't know that all three of those, you know, late onset diabetes, adult diabetes, all three of those can be caused by antifreeze poisoning. And you'll never know it because antifreeze tastes sweet and has no odor. Mother Nature cannot break it down, that's why we use it. And our bodies cannot break it down, nor can our bodies eliminate it that readily because it gets stored in our body fat and gets recirculated. So it not only is carcinogenic, but it's mutagenic. It mutates our genes, so that even if we cure ourselves of cancer or whatever, we'll keep getting cancer for the rest of our lives. Anywho, what he did, the only thing I know about Chris Carson's circuit is that he had a very long stack, air capacitance based or air dielectric based variable capacitor. And we know this, they're variacs, but he put it on a rotating, you know, normally you turn a variable capacitor and it hits the upper limit, and then you turn it down and it hits the lower limit, and you got these stacked plates that they're not a full disk. They're a partial disk, like let's say 2/3 of a disk. And the two sets, and as you rotate, they create an interweaving or interleaving condition in which there's either greater surface area between them or less, depending on the positioning of their rotation, one with respect to the other. Well, he took out the barrier to the turning of it, you know, the upper-lower boundary, so that you could continue to rotate it, and he had a little motor driving it, so that basically it was jimmying its capacitance up and down, which is what I've been saying here for the last few days of what my latest circuit design requires. And that alone will raise the current. It'll synthesize current. And then you have to provide voltage to raise the voltage, because otherwise you're just manufacturing current without a whole lot of voltage to speak of. But overall, you will be synthesizing electricity. It'll be very high amps, low volts. So I use a battery capacitor battery sandwich and a transformer and two aerials to help, you know, in my circuit. But I use the battery capacitor battery sandwich to help raise the voltage, and that's a big battery pack. And his device was very small, so he probably wasn't bothering to monkey with the voltage. He left it alone. So he was creating an amperage-oriented circuit for the most part. But it worked, and it was the same principle that I'm doing. It's a Chris Carson concept circuit, proof of concept circuit. But people hound me to build it. I wonder why. So they can hound me once I've built it. Hound me even more. And I know better not to go there. So I just theorize, I simulate, but it's the same principle. And how many people talk about this? Eric Dollard, Chris Carson made it, Eric Dollard talks about it, and I've simulated it. And which is not the same thing as making it, because it's in the abstract world, not in the concrete, but it is real. The abstract world is real, and this guy complaining was very angry. He didn't accept the abstract at all. He must be disturbed because he wanted to disturb me. He wanted to spread around the disturbance, and calling it a reality check is nice, but he's not going to be satisfied because I admitted that it's not buildable because I couldn't find a variable capacitor of the level that I wanted. Not to say that you can't get results from the smaller one. It'll just take forever. It'll take a long time. But if you're not doing anything and you get a motor to rotate the thing, and it's an air base, now I can see how to do this. I can do this. It's buildable. Unbelievable. This is remarkable. I've solved my own problem. See, Eric Dollar has all the solutions, all the answers, all the clues. Well, to complete the picture. We still have to do the work ourselves. So this is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. So now I don't mind the video I made this morning. Maybe I'll attach this to that. I do have to go through and edit it because I need to add graphics that are more specific, more germane, and text corrections or whatever. It's a long video. It's like 53 minutes long. I'm not going to make this one that long. So I just want to do an update video segment, and I'll add this to that one, making that one even longer. This is very inspiring. So now I know where to look on eBay, what kind of capacitor to look for, and I'll probably find one. And then you just have to modify it and put a little I've got a little DC motor. I've got 2 of them, and I've got I bought, these are children's kits, electronic kits, and I bought a 1-volt solar panel. It's a tiny little thing, but I also bought 2 little DC motors. So, and I got LEDs and other stuff. So I just don't have capacitors though. I have to get a kit of capacitors, but now I know where to get a so I can do this. I can make a demonstration model, and it should work. I am so inspired. I had no idea. My intuition was I was going to be able to do this, but I had no idea that I could. Maybe not to power my car, but I could do a demonstration model. This is great. This is really fantastic. It makes me feel so good. Aside from, the few other joys of my life that doesn't cost anything. Actually, working on the computer, the simulator, costs me a lot of energy. But this is great. Okay.